LeBron James's offseason was a lot busier than we might have thought in the first place, given the fact that his production company, SpringHill Entertainment, has sold a scripted project to NBC that will revolve around a sports doctor. So for some context for you, the Warner Brothers television-based production company has sold an untitled drama to NBC, which has handed out a script plus penalty commitment for the project about a brilliant doctor who specializes in treating the world's greatest sports stars. Only when the doctor undergoes a health crisis, it forces him to rethink his approach to medicine with the help of a gifted sports psychologist. Renowned orthopedic sports surgeon Dr. James Andrews is on board as an executive consultant. So it's appropriate, Ben, that you're here, given your movie review and TV review background. And I think you are a fan of Trainwreck and LeBron James's work in Trainwreck.
I thought it was one of the great athlete, non-actor performances in any movie.
So given this, do you think LeBron's going to be on the show? And two, do you think it's something that LeBron's future past the NBA, given that he's got 5, 6, 7, 8 years left, play till whatever, 40 years old, do you think this is where he's going to start going? Isn't it like entertainment and obviously?
No idea. Obviously, I don't know. And mostly, I think, while LeBron was great and might have a future in front of the camera, he was playing himself, and Judd Apatow really skillfully sort of played not against type, but against perception. Like the idea of LeBron James running back into an office to make sure that they validated his parking ticket is funny.
Well,
and asking to split the bill.
So you say that, though. However, in interviews with Dwayne Wade, he has said that LeBron is extremely cheap in the way that he won't even use roaming data unless he's on Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
he refuses. $1 billion Nike contract.
I got it. No, it's all funny.
So maybe he would validate.
No, maybe he would. But I mean, either way, it's not our perception. So it goes against our perception. So
yes.
It's funny, and watching him talk about Downton Abbey and just being a true romantic. Like that's all. Right. That all is funny. So, and LeBron's showed great skill in being able to play that off. Can he turn around and could he play a character? Could he play a different person? I don't have any idea. But he's an incredibly bright, affable guy, so he might be able to. But it's hard to be a good actor.
There's going to be enough, I think, people that can't get their mind off of who he was. They saw him as this basketball player, and I didn't see the film, but I did see even the snippets of previews and little extended things. I was like, oh, it looks like he did well. I wonder if they only grabbed the parts where he looked like
he was great.
Did well.
He was great.
You know?
He was really the best I've ever seen an athlete in a movie.
So that would have to be phenomenal for him to detach from what people see him as, the 6'8", 240-pound athlete who's done so many things. But I mean, hey, I'm not mad at anybody for trying to branch off and do new things.
Ben, do you not consider John Cena an athlete in that situation?
John Cena,
that same movie.
By the way, John Cena also great, and so the fact that Cena was great and that LeBron is great is a real testament to like that Judd Apatow. That guy can direct. That guy elicited really good performances out of two people who don't have great acting experience. LeBron is a master at his craft. Cena is a wrestler, and part of wrestling is theater. So I'm more apt to believe that Cena could make that transition easier than LeBron. It's a whole new world for LeBron. I mean, and if he were to take it seriously, he'd take acting classes. But the thing about him is that he seems like a serious guy. So I bet he would take acting classes if that's what he wanted to do.
One of the things I just find interesting is like the perception, and I haven't read too much into the internet reaction when it comes to LeBron, and there will be way more if he starts appearing in the show. That's when people will start talking about it much more than they normally would, especially the sports audience would start paying attention to it a little bit more. But having said that, like we talk a lot of the time about at least MMA fighters and sometimes other athletes that when they go Hollywood, it affects their career, affects their game if they're doing it while they're still playing.
I don't know.
LeBron does Trainwreck.
This is a shot.
Wins the title.
Right.
LeBron does.
I think if he hadn't done Trainwreck, they could have won that in 5 or 6 games.
So, that's my point. Is LeBron sells, his production company sells a sports medicine show. LeBron wins an MVP next year, maybe.
Peyton Manning goes on Papa John's commercials, wins the Super Bowl.
Again, but
Ryan Lochte goes on Dancing with the Stars. Comes back at 33, wins the World
As great as Steph Curry was, and he was great. That team was great. And I'm sorry they didn't win because they were so great. And I want the best teams to have won. Like, it means something to win 73 games and then win. More so than winning 73 games, not losing 10 games. In 82 games, they lost 9. LeBron should have won the MVP. He should always win the MVP, right? I mean, he's better than ever.
But should he win an Emmy?
Yeah.
MVP.
An MVP.
But by the way, a show about James Andrews. I mean, essentially about a James Andrews type figure.
They mentioned he's 74 years old, so it's doubtful the doctor on the show will be a mirror image.
that Andrews is.
Andrews is 74 years
Yeah,
old.
so I mean, it'll be. But this guy revolutionized. I mean, this guy has given second chances, third chances, fourth chances to, hundreds and hundreds of professional athletes. And Lord knows what we would have seen if this kind of medicine had existed in the 50s and 60s. And, if Mickey Mantle had that kind of procedure.
Koufax.
Sandy Koufax could have, had Tommy John surgery, missed a year, come back and pitch. Sandy Koufax, take a look at Sandy Koufax's last year in the majors sometime. If I'm not mistaken, he went 27-9. And then he was like, I let my arm hurt, so I retired.
Right. He had a great 4-year run.
Yeah.
I actually have the book on my desk. You can take a look at it.
Something's wrong here.
I'm more interested in J.R. Smith's role in this show than anybody else on the Cleveland Cavaliers. But, I mean, look, if LeBron's on it, I'm going to watch. I'm a big LeBron fan. I think those who like LeBron will enjoy the show if he's on it. Those who hate LeBron, it's just adding more fuel to the LeBron fire.
Sandy Koufax, 27-9, 1.73. 300, pitched 323 innings, struck out 317 guys. That's it. I'm done.
With no tendon attached to his elbow.
think
He was
I've proven
30.
enough
He was
here.
30.
Jeez, he would have pitched for, oh, God. Which means if he had the surgery, he might have even been better than that.
1.73. It was his best ERA ever. Wow. Started 41 games.
See, what you're supposed to do, Ben, obviously, is never get Tommy John and just play through the pain. 1.73 ERA is what you'll come
These
home
young
with.
kids whine too much.
Comment below. What do you think of LeBron's new show, and what do you think his role will be in the show? JR Jackson's on Twitter at JR_Jackson or JR Jackson.
It's all straight J.R. Jackson. I picked him up.
Ben Mank 77, I think. Jason Ruben 91. Like, favorite, subscribe to the channel. It goes a long way. Enjoy the weekend. We'll be back on Monday.